from Bob Lee's closet in the crap part of ESPN's massive, Rog, growing every day, studio complex at the crap end of Copacabana Beach, in the crap part of Her Name is Rio, with the Men in Blazers.
Gobadas!
I'm Davo. This is Rog. It is the Copa.
I am Daryl Hall. This is John Oates.
Oh, I'd love to be Daryl Hall
We
and
wish.
John Oates. Oh, my word, that would be amazing. I can't go for that.
No, can do.
Rog, we're just coming off the amazing game, Germany versus Ghana. The shock 2-2 result. We are not going to say, and it's been an amazing day, Rog, earlier, Iran holding Argentina until the 746th minute, I believe. And we're not suggesting for 1 second that this World Cup is fixed in any way whatsoever. FIFA, amazing job. But if there are writers, Rog, eating miniature bananas, powered by miniature bananas in halls in Bern and Gstaad and Zurich, they are doing an unbelievable job with this World Cup. I can't even... At the end of it, in hindsight, I can say that was great writing. At the time, I'll let you speak.
I'm just going to whisper today.
No, Rog hasn't had much. I keep on saying to Rog for the last 20 minutes, what are you going to talk about today? He says, I'm saving myself for tomorrow.
Saving my voice for tomorrow. Like Whitney Houston, I'm going to save it for tomorrow. Not talking today.
Is that a Whitney Houston song?
Save myself for tomorrow when USA play Ghana.
Saving all my love for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is going to be...
Go for that, go for
This is going to be a pretty crap boot room.
Oh, Davo.
Yeah.
Great tweet at JGC Young. Rooting for the Germans and Iranians.
Yeah.
The World Cup makes for strange bedfellows.
Yeah.
It is true.
It does.
It is. What a day it's been, Davo. It's been a... I mean, I said to you at one point, when Ghana went ahead, a goal which made us leap out of our seats until we suddenly became terrified and paralysed by what that actually meant, not for Ghana, but for the mighty USA.
For the Von Trapps. Even though we still weren't sure what it meant. I've been looking at the group table the whole time, trying to figure out what it all means.
But I said Iran.
Yeah.
Could have, should have, might have.
England are out. That's the only thing I know.
Could have beaten Argentina today in a shock that would have ranked up there with Cameroon beating Argentina, with Korea beating Italy. I mean,
Virginia Wade winning Wimbledon.
Time, crazy, unbelievable, bonkers result. That would have been De Jagger penalty denied. We will talk about it. And then Ghana 2-1 up against Germany. Germany, how can you keep losing these second games? We will reveal all.
Yeah, so German.
But I said to him, if Jesus would come back, would rise from the dead today, it would not surprise me anymore. This World Cup is that bonkers, Davo.
Yeah.
It is. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Crazy.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And you can't... only in hindsight can you realise how well written that was. You couldn't even anticipate. People would think you were a fool. People would think you're the court jester if you'd run around saying that this is the way these games were going to go. There's some really annoying guy somewhere, probably in Serbia, who is running around saying, I had every single game. My bracket is perfect. I knew every single thing that was going to happen in this entire World Cup, and no one would listen to me.
Serbian Nate Silver.
Yeah, Serbian Nate Silver.
Serbian Nate Silver.
A human computer. Rog, we've had a... Before we get to the football... Before we get to the football...
Tomorrow, big day. Can't sleep.
Day.
Had the dream again last night. I had the dream again.
The 65-yard Beckham and Wonder
I had the dream again. I woke up this morning... Very early, actually. I woke up incredibly. I'm quite excited at the moment. High hysteria.
And our rooms are so close to each other. I do hear you wake up in the morning.
Not sleeping well. Yeah. Not sleeping well. And I lay, do you know that state of sleep?
Yeah.
Not quite wake, not quite leith. Between the two.
Had the drums started in the FIFA fan zone on the beach. Right outside our hotel is the beach.
Right outside.
And there is the FIFA fan zone is right there. And every day
Copacabana, Barry Manilow.
At about 7 a.m. they start the sound check for the drums for the action for the bands who are going to play later on the beach. And that's pretty much I don't set an alarm anymore.
Unbelievable. It's like a series of explosions.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was going on in the background. Yeah. I'm used to that by now. But I had in between sleep and awake, I was lying there on my stack of pillows with my laptop open, dealing with your tweets to Men in Blazers and looking at the Instagram. Very nice photos you've been taking.
Thank you very much, Roger.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And I said to myself, Like that I was. Do you mind if I do it?
Yeah.
I recreate it. It's on my pillows.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't have a banana in my hand. That's silly. I said...
that's the only thing that's unrealistic
I just said to myself, it's only 6 games, Davo. I did say Davo.
Yeah.
You weren't in my bedroom. Only 6 games, and this World Cup has been so bonkers. It's been so bonkers, and we won like 87 last year, this time last year in the Gold Cup, which is harder because it's CONCACAF.
That is harder than the World Cup.
And I thought, only 6 more games do we have to emerge from. We don't even need to win the first 2.
Yeah.
And I thought, it can happen, Davo, and it can happen because this World Cup, to me, has been so bonkers.
If the United States men's national team win their game tomorrow, Rog,
and we'll talk about this,
they qualify for the knockout stage.
Out of Group G, Doom, Group G, the craziest group we've ever been jammed in. Group G is like a parking space where the person in front of you in New York parks right on top of your bumper. What do you call that in America? Your fender.
I think it is a bumper.
So you're like jammed in, and then somebody, normally in a one of those big cars that Arnold Schwarzenegger drives, a Hummer, just parks right up against you, and you're jammed. We're not meant to get out. David Blaine couldn't get out of that parking spot. It's so tight.
Do you know what the secret is, by the way, for parallel parking? I said this on the podcast the other day, but it hasn't been a secret.
I can't parallel park.
The secret is, when you're parallel parking, a professional driver told me this.
Yes. What's his name, the guy in LA?
It's the guy who helps us with comedians in cars. Before you go and reverse, take a look over your right shoulder. Unless you're in the UK, it would be your left shoulder. If you're in America, over your right shoulder, look at where the curb is. Get it in your eyes and then go and do it.
So funny. I'll tell you a quick secret. I didn't know how to drive till I was 30.
Yeah.
I never learned in England. My wife wouldn't have a baby with me unless I could theoretically drive her to hospital. And I got into the driving test, and I said, hello, to the American tester.
Yeah.
And he goes, can you drive in England? You're English. I was like, yeah. He goes, can you drive in England? And I didn't answer. I didn't lie. I just smiled at him. And he goes, OK, we'll keep this quick then. And he made me shoot forward 10 yards. And then he said reverse 10 yards. So I just put it in reverse, shot back 10 yards. And he goes, oh, you English guys, I should fail you for that. But you meant to look in the mirror, which I didn't. And he goes, all right, if you can drive in England, get out now. So I did. And so I passed my test like that. I still, to this day, have never parallel parked in my life. But Jurgen Klinsmann, if he can get us out of that parking spot, David,
it's about the size. It's as wide as a Brazilian tiny banana.
We had a beautiful tweet, which I want to raise now before we get into Iran and a lot of Iranian GFOPs. How big are we in Iran? Bigger than Salman Rushdie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
At Derek02000.
Yeah.
He says, at Rog Bennett, at Embassy Davis, irony. Soccer used to be an un-American sport, but it's now the sport with which we express our patriotism the most.
Yeah.
And I find that fascinating. Fascinating because I think it is. I mean, Jason Gay wrote a lovely piece today in the Wall Street Journal about this bandwagon. Bigger than a tiny banana, the American football bandwagon.
Yeah.
But it's a very emotional bandwagon. And the emotion that I think it's driven is, what other sport can Americans exert their kind of sense of patriotism on a world stage better than football right now? Basketball, it's just not the same. Holding the Angolans, elbowing an Angolan in the head if you're Charles Barkley.
Even the Olympics aren't really fair because the Americans win just so many medals.
Crush. So I think it's fascinating, but it gives an emotionalism. What we need is rationalism with our football right now.
It's the only time,
analysis of this US
it's
team,
the only time you get to truly cheer for America as underdogs, Rog. It's the only time that America, which is within the DNA of the nation. It's how the nation was born. So hard to settle this country, Roger. To settle this country.
Tell me about it.
And cross that frontier, them thar hills.
Yeah.
And
them what hills?
Build them thar hills, and to build the transcontinental railroad, Roger.
Tell me about
get across the country. Just the problems that Americans dealt with.
So blistered.
The problems. And it's the only sport in which you can actually be underdogs again. It's the only frontier thesis sport that exists, Rog, to prove American exceptionalism.
Well, making
the Monroe Doctrine.
Inside US Soccer's march to Brazil with my mate John Hock. I asked Jurgen Klinsmann, isn't it so American to be an underdog? I asked every player that I interviewed, isn't it so American to be an underdog? And they went, yeah, we're gritty, we're collective, we hustle. I said that to Jurgen. I said, isn't it American to be an underdog? And he looked at me and he goes, no, maybe in Hollywood. it is good to be an underdog, but not really. Americans like to be number one. He does not agree with that. And by the way, inside US Soccer March to Brazil, bonus episode.
You're doing another one, Rog.
We are tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC.
Can't wait for that.
It's going to be amazing.
Well, I won't be able to see it.
I've been peeling small bananas with this hand, working on Men in Blazers with you with this hand, and with my left foot, like Daniel Day-Lewis. I've been working with the great team, 30 for 30 Films, to bring that. It's going to be gorgeous tomorrow. Very, very emotive.
Good for you. You're my hero.
So we'll talk more about the old... the American team to tie this together. Where do you want to start? Do you want to go? Where does the George Michael Sports Machine want to take?
Let's quickly show our new shirts.
Does it want to take me to Tehran?
Quickly show your shirt that you got today that my mate
I'm going to wear it tomorrow.
Andrew and his son Ted picked up for you at the vintage shirt store. That's a 1934 US jersey. You were just a baby then, Rog.
And you can tell that it's a vintage one because nipples had not yet been invented when they designed this jersey.
This is a 60-something, either a 62 or 66 Italian jersey.
And you got Italy because?
Because I do believe that Rossi the Ice Cream Man may have been my father. Check the Grantland Italian preview on YouTube.
They look eerily similar, David.
They do.
You and Rossi.
Now that England are out, I want Italy to win that group.
One of my favourite stories today we're going to talk about very quickly. Our English update. Joe Hart today in a press conference.
Yeah.
Read that out in your English accent.
We've done some good things in this World Cup, apart from doing the ultimate, winning games.
Yeah. And then my other great story.
That is so English.
So unbelievably English. And Davo. Yeah. Davo said yesterday to Alexi Lalas, because we were talking about this American... Iran were very American today.
So American.
Ghana. How American are you? The America of Africa.
Then Germany were American.
Germany were also American. You're all American.
Although our Germans are now efficiently better than Germans, as someone tweeted us earlier. That's some call me sudden tweeted us that. It's good.
So you know, Davo. Yeah. You said only an American would call something American. We've talked about this. Any other country, if you say something so English, it normally means just self-loathing. Yeah. A high point somewhere around the Industrial Revolution, and then just an incredible
French,
decline.
Rog, if they say that was so French, it's not a compliment.
Yeah, but that was so like yellow teeth. The popularity of the name Nigel, and apparently, according to European polling, probably the least romantic, and by romantic I mean something slightly coarser, but I can't say it on ESPN. With the most mediocre at that, apparently, according to Europeans in the whole of the continent. So that is the most English thing we've ever heard. Brazilian thing, great story that we love today. The fake Scolari story.
Oh, we love fake Scolari.
We love the fake Scolari. In the middle of the World Cup in Brazil, a journalist couldn't believe his luck. He was flying from Rio to Sao Paulo, and who was sitting by him, David?
Fake Scolari.
No, he thought it was a real... He thought he was sitting by Luis Felipe Scolari. And he started to plumb him for questions, and then he wrote an exclusive on Scolari's thinking. And then sensationally broke it. The whole media went crazy because these opinions were wild and crazy. Turns out it was
not real Scolari.
It was a Scolari impersonator who was flying to do the most amazing part of this story to me. If I sat by Scolari or fake Scolari, the only questions I'd ask would be about his decision to make the birdcage after kind of the French connection, which I thought was quite sensational, Davo. Are you thirsty?
I am a little thirsty. Yeah. We're about to introduce a new feature.
Go on, Rog. Can you describe this feature?
Well, it's a feature called... At the beginning of the World Cup, our first day at the ESPN studios, there was coffee, Rog.
Oh,
there were the little special sort of Nespresso outlets.
Yeah.
There were little Nespresso. Oh, here's the new feature. You're going to have to wait. This is our new feature.
It's called Water with Gabby.
Called Gabby Brings Us Water. Gabby is the talent wrangler here at... Is that it, Gabby? You've got to stay. Gabby is the talent wrangler. Here, Gabby, put this on. Gabby is the talent wrangler here at ESPN.
Yeah.
At the studios.
Yeah.
Say hi, Gabby.
Hi, how are you?
Gabby is Brazilian. She speaks perfect English.
No pressure at all.
Yeah, you speak perfect English. So, first day, there was coffee. Do you remember there were little sachets of coffee?
Yeah.
There was like any food you could eat. There was fruit.
Everywhere.
There was cheese.
Good times.
There was so much stuff. Now...
I felt like the Israelites moving into the promised land. There was just milk and honey everywhere.
Now we don't even have water.
No.
Not even bottles, no.
But no, bottles. So we've got little cups of water. And so we have a new feature every day. About 5 minutes in the show, we told Gabby it's called Gabby Brings Us Water. So that will happen every day.
I'm going to try and sell this. I'm going to try and sell this to Van Nistelrooy.
I just got a new job then.
Yes, you do. This is your new job. And
awesome.
no pay raise, unfortunately. And then, Gabby, the other thing about Gabby is that every day, we have a problem. Every day, whatever the shirt that Gabby wears loses. And so today, very carefully, you wore white and red.
And?
I don't know. What else did you wear? Oh, you wore...
No, the results today.
The result was a tie.
Yes.
You wore both. Sorry,
yes.
I didn't know where you were going there.
She wore an England jersey.
She wore an England jersey.
She wore a Brazil jersey the day before that.
True. Yeah.
Gabby is the talent
And I wore blue yesterday for Italy.
Gabby is a warlock.
Gabby is a warlock, part warlock.
True.
Gabby, thank you very much for our water.
It's very good water.
Okay. Come back again tomorrow.
All right.
That's a new session called Gabby Brings Us Water.
It's high concept. Thanks, Gabby.
Dave, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Iran? The George Michael machine, does it go to Iran?
No, I think we ought to
Does it go to Tehran, or is it full-on Yankee and it has sanctions?
With Germany, Ghana. That's the game we're coming right off, that we're excited about, which we're going to go and do. 2-2, Rog. What a game of football.
How do you say second game syndrome in German?
Yeah, it's definitely second game syndrome. The record of this German team in second games, Rog, it's shocking.
It is.
It's so un-German.
It's more like Merryweather Pavilion.
Yeah.
It's like, is that Hootie and the Bluefish? Terrible second album.
Yeah.
Terrible first album, to be candid. But
no, it was warm in Fortaleza.
Yeah.
One should say
Hot.
It's warm, hot.
Hot.
It was very, very hot.
Yeah.
The Ghanaians definitely in this game, they had to get something out of the game, or they were eliminated from the World Cup. I thought the Ghanaians came out immediately. Certainly, the first 29 seconds for them were better than the first 29 seconds.
They didn't make that mistake again,
did that mistake again. But then again, the Germans don't have Dempsey, Rog. So. Got through the first 29 seconds.
They were physical, they were determined.
Yes.
They were organised in that first half.
Yeah, and they had more opportunities, frankly. We went into half-time, and you said to me they had the best of the opportunities in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, the Ghanaians moving forward, they make very odd decisions when they enter the final third. They like to hit the shoot button. They do love to hit the shoot button. They don't work it. They're not a patient team.
Yeah.
Despite that, they worked Neuer in the first half. You love Neuer. You think he's like an NHL goalkeeper.
I think Neuer... I don't love Neuer. I find Neuer kind of difficult. I will never forgive him for the Lampard goal. I believe he should have done the honest thing, and he was so far over the line, and he so clearly is looking at it when it crossed the line. I do believe that he should have done the sporting thing and said that it crossed the line. I know there was 1966 and all that. I still believe he should have done it. But Neuer is... as a goalkeeper, he just wants it so badly. He wants to be the star, and I feel he's like Henrik Lundqvist to me. He's like one of those star NHL goaltenders who just wants it so badly. It's all about him. Yes,
my beloved Capitals.
But it's all about him. He's a really terrific goalkeeper.
Well, he was working more. With his feet. The Germans did not seem up for the fight at all. It's almost like they didn't expect the Ghanaians after that performance, their first game performance, their loss to the mighty US, to really be up for the fight at half-time. And I think ESPN has done gorgeous coverage, obviously as an adherent to the fast-growing evangelical religion of Tariqoism.
Thou shalt not ever insult one's employer.
But we love the ESPN coverage, etc., etc. The one thing I wish they'd done, for you, dear viewer at home, the tactical cam is phenomenal, but stick a camera on Michael Ballack. We could see Michael Ballack the whole time in studio. We could see him the whole time. We absolutely loved it. And he came into at half-time, he came in to speak to us, and we said, what's going on with Germany? And he just looked at me in the eye, and it took a tiny bit of my soul, like sucked out. He took my milkshake. I take your milkshake. How do you say that in German? And he just goes, Germany are saving their goals for the third game.
Whoa, it's another new feature, Rog. This is fantastic.
Yes, keep coming.
Oh, fantastic.
Hello, how are you doing?
Adriana, welcome. Adriana Monsalve, I pronounce your name. Is that good?
Without the S at the end.
Adriana Monsalve.
Salve, yeah.
Monsalve from ESPN International.
I know you were expecting someone else, but today is my day.
We weren't.
Oh, really?
Absolutely weren't. No, we love the fact that Adriana, we've seen you around, we've waved to you, we've said hi to you. It's great to have you in here. So, Adriana, you're with ESPN International?
ESPN International, yeah.
And you are from where?
I'm from Venezuela originally, but I live in LA.
What is this? Does Venezuela have a
Very prepared women.
have a monopoly. Well,
it's like New Jersey and scaffolding in New York City. It's like the mafia, the Venezuelan
We are the mafia of sports
famous Venezuelan Americans, by the way. Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
I looked this up. Maria Conchita Alonso.
Oh, yeah, that's
Wilma
true.
Valderrama.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all famous.
Wilma Valderrama, yeah.
By the way, you are now more famous than any of those three. Just
you
by
are.
coming
really?
into the boot room. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I'm so happy for it.
So why are Venezuelans so good? Why are they populating? Why are they dominating ESPN International?
Well, because we have a really good talent.
Yeah.
We have we are really prepared women in sports, and we take everything very seriously.
So that's like Liverpool people.
So how are you enjoying?
So far,
how are you enjoying this World Cup?
It's amazing.
It's the Copa das Copas.
Yeah, we are in Brazil.
Yeah.
That's really important to really enjoy football.
The Venezuela of South America.
South America. Yeah, actually,
That's what we call it.
We're a neighbor from Brazil. Of Brazil. Yeah. And I think the World Cup is so amazing. Like, we have so many goals, like 82 goals in 29 games. That's hilarious.
Now, we have to ask you the same question that we asked your compatriot.
Thank you.
Carolina Padrón.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, obviously, you're a journalist. You have to be completely objective when you're covering this game. And I must say, we're so impressed with the ESPN International coverage, right, Rod?
Very impressed.
We don't understand much of what they're talking about. But what we can tell is that you combine passion for the game with true journalistic ability and
a guy who has 3 arms and plays the violin with one of them. I don't
think that is symptomatic of all of the coverage.
No?
That guy. No. But we have to ask you a question.
Okay.
Who, as a Venezuelan, Venezuela have not been in the World Cup since 1543.
Never.
Who do you cheer for in the World Cup? Who do you support? What are the teams you like in the World Cup? Carolina Padrón shocked the world yesterday.
Oh, really? Well, I like the teams that they have history of their own, of course. But when you are a journalist, you don't cheer for anybody.
No, you don't.
You just enjoy football, enjoy soccer, and enjoy. Well, I can say football here.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Or soccer. We can also say soccer. So who has impressed you so far? This has been the World Cup of CONCACAF.
Well, I was so impressed with Germany until today. I think Ghana pressure a lot the Germans, but I think
they're throwing a lot of money.
But I think
it's pretty clear that Germans are paying off the whole of
Venezuela.
No. Let's go and look at the diplomatic history and economic relations.
I think you have a lot of surprises in this World Cup. I can say that, but I still think that the European teams that they are still alive, they are the favorites. I think Germany is one of them, even though they have a lot of pressure from Ghana to win, and they just find a tie. But also Deutschland and France, they were really.
Let me ask you one quick question.
Powerful.
One question, because we also asked this yesterday, and I'm not sure we got a fully truthful answer. Venezuela, an amazing country.
Yeah, it is.
We don't know enough about it.
Yeah, we're going.
Who is your rival in sports? Which of these
we don't
teams
have rivals yet. We've been playing football since 1950. No, actually, I really enjoy watching Colombia football. I think we don't have rivalry because we are like new guys in the football spotlight. So we've been playing since 1950, and all the countries in South America. Baseball. We are a baseball country still.
Yeah, you've got big famous baseball players right from Venezuela. Well, this has been fantastic.
ESPN International people seem to work half as ESPN International, half as incredible glable diplomats. You are also diplomatic. Can you tell us your Twitter handle so that everyone can start following you?
Yeah, of course. Adriana, ADRIANA _ ESPN.
That's it.
How many followers do you have on Twitter?
We have 4.
4?
Yeah, if you want
on Instagram, we have 5.
So you use Carolina and I to get more followers?
No. Yep. No.
No way.
No, not very often.
If you want sane, articulate, intelligent football coverage, which kind of counterproductive because you wouldn't be listening to us if you did.
Yeah.
Can we highly recommend?
Yes.
Highly recommend.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that.
We need a headshot for the wall.
Oh, great.
Sign it.
You can go. Where can you go? You can go. Well, we'll move Carl Beckerman over, and you can go between.
You have
Carl
a Piojo.
Beckerman.
That's great.
Yeah, you can go between Carl Beckerman and Chancellor Angela Merkel.
Yeah. Okay,
I think
perfect.
That's a good.
That's
position.
a great spot for
comes in between Beckerman and Chancellor Angela Merkel.
M and M. Those are the initials of my kids.
Oh, that's so nice. What are their names?
Miranda and Matthias.
Oh, those are great names. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming in. Come in anytime.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.
We are still not being asked back reciprocally on ESPN.
We have not been on ESPN International yet. We just want to make that very, very clear.
So we've got to get into this.
Okay.
So that's Ballack. We are saving our goals. We are saving our goals for the third game, which I must say made me terrified. It made me the children of the corn terrified, Davo, to be candid.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this game, and we are going to talk about the Iranian game, but there's someone more beautiful than anyone that works in ESPN International who's coming.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Paul Carr blows your mind. Said Paul Carr blows your mind. Said Paul Carr blows your mind. Said Paul Carr blows your mind. And stop. Okay, Paul Carr, here you go. You're going to blow our mind. Sorry, almost knocked over your notes. Almost knocked over your computer.
God,
here we go, Paul
Grand
Carr.
Central Station in here today.
Okay, get your banana microphone ready.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul Carr, Germany 2, Ghana 2.
Wow.
Amazing result. Argentina 1, Iran 0-0 in soccer parlance.
As they say in Germany.
Null. 1-0, as they say in Germany. What do you have for us today which will blow our collective mind?
All right, well, Miroslav Klose, as you probably know, tied Ronaldo's tall Ronaldo's scoring record with 15 World Cup goals. Did you know none of Klose's 15 World Cup goals came from more than 13 yards away? They were all in the penalty area.
All scored in Brek Shea range.
So what
like
you're
today.
saying is that he's scored 15 World Cup goals
from a total of 120 yards.
So
about the length of a soccer field.
The length of a soccer field.
He's like a basketball
you can take all
backboard. They just keep dumping the ball
back
in
to back, and they're only the length of a soccer field.
It's amazing. Yes. That is, I think that's relatively mind-blowing. I do find him fascinating.
Yeah.
It is like he's a basketball backboard that they just dump the ball. They all score the goals off him rather than he scores them. That is so German.
They hit it into him and rebound them off him into the goal.
Yeah.
It's
how many marks out of 10 would you put that for mind-blowing, David?
I think that's a 7.5. I like it. I feel like we've discussed this segment with Paul. We've given him some notes, and I think that he's going for more lateral stuff. Usually stuff that the commentators wouldn't use, so it's not said on television. And I think he's giving us something kind of different.
He's giving us the cuttings from the tailor's floor. That's what you're saying.
Right. No, I'm trying to save something for you guys because you have a special place in my artificial heart.
Didn't you tell me that England, since 2002, England have scored a total of 17 goals.
Close has scored 15 goals.
15.
But Paul Carr is a nice enough man not to walk into here with two English guys and drop that kind of talk, Davo. Do want to quickly to button this Paul Carr blows your mind bit. Paul Carr from @1 Andre. Paul Carr ESPN looks like a younger Paul Krugman, but maybe less angry. So what are your feelings on austerity and hysterious? Paul.
I'm sure I'm less angry about them than Paul Krugman is.
Okay, so we've had Andrea Bocelli, lookalike. We've had Clooney.
Slightly inflated Clooney, rude.
Yeah. We've had Sergio Ramos or young Stalin. They're sort of the same thing. And now we've got a younger Paul Krugman.
Yeah, we're really spreading it around.
Them. If you have any ideas,
with any Paul kind of insights.
Yeah, to meninblazers@gmail.com. @PCar ESPN.
That's right.
Another question sent in by a listener, which was, how do you trim your beard?
I use a beard trimmer.
Yeah.
You can mention the brand.
No, you can't.
I don't know what the brand is.
Okay. There you are. Paul blew our mind twice in this.
Thank you very much, Paul. Okay, take a hike, says Wando.
Yeah.
Producer.
Wando, the man they call Wando.
Bring me the man they call
You've hurt my people and we must exact justice.
I hear you are harbouring the fugitive named Wando.
Let's talk about Germany, David.
Let's talk about Germany.
So they come off.
Yeah. At half-time.
Yeah. I have to tell you, Ballack was not perturbed.
Ballack just walked in, he just said, 1-0.
Yeah, Davo
It'll be 1-0.
Davo goes to me, he goes, well, the US are better than Germany, that's very clear.
Yeah.
He says to me,
yeah.
When you scored. Funny enough, the first goal, Götze, was off his head knee.
Yeah, his knee was clearly offside.
Yeah.
Off his head.
Very untraditional, just his head. Doesn't do the head knee, the traditional head knee.
Yeah.
Mertesacker and Mustafi just watching him like you and me at home. 1-1. David turns around to me when it's 1-1 and he goes, well, that's proof that the US are better than Germany. Yeah, most positive man. That's why I love him.
Yeah.
Lalas, however, out-positives him.
Yeah.
And I hear from the corner of the room, Lalas just goes, well, it's going to be great to knock Germany out of the World Cup when we play them in Recife.
It was amazing. It was so
amazing.
American. It was more American. Is a ginger American more American than a regular American?
That's the kind of question that I feel ill-equipped to answer until I take my citizenship test.
Yeah.
His exact phrase, to quote, to be accurate, was, "How sweet it will be to knock Germany out in Recife."
Yeah.
And I was just like, you Americans, I love you. I wish I was one of you. Maybe I will be if you get out of this Group G.
In the face.
And then Yogi Love, when that goal went in, he looked like a man who...
He loves a black shirt, Yogi Love. He loves a black... He was down to like 5 or 6 buttons
chest
by
wig.
the end.
Buttons open, but no chest wig.
Yeah.
A crazy combo.
Yeah.
And he just looked... I couldn't
Beautifully
tell
waxed.
whether he was stressed about what was going on or whether he just didn't know, with all the cameras on him, where to put his bogeys.
Yeah.
But then...
Boogers.
He had an incredible...
Bogeys is English for boogers.
Yeah, thank you.
Funny.
He had an incredible tactical decision.
Yeah.
Incredible tactical decision to make. Yeah. And he flicked the switch.
Schweinsteiger.
Make this team more Teutonic!
More Teutonic.
How do you make a team as maximally Teutonic as you can?
Pig farmer. Yeah. Schweinsteiger comes on.
Yeah.
Rog.
And it paid off. He brought on closer to the Polish kind of German.
Teutonic.
Yeah. On he came.
Yeah.
Banging goes that goal. A phenomenal. I mean, such a German goal. And the thing we loved about it, it was a record-breaking goal.
Well, that's after Guyan had scored, Rog.
Yeah.
To go 2-1 up.
Warlock.
And the shot of the Warlock in the crowd. They've got an excellent Warlock. We need a Warlock as good as the Ghanaian Warlock.
Get these to Manaus. Get these to Manaus now. But then close up.
Yeah.
Scores the goal.
Yeah.
But and he's seen Ronaldo really up the ante on, I mean, meaningless goals. The 4th goal in the Champions League final, a penalty for which he ripped off his shirt and did look like I do when I rip off my shirt.
Yeah.
And because he's having a movie shot about his life, every single goal Ronaldo now scores will be matched with a hyperbolic, over-the-top celebration. So
we'll
what did Klose try and do,
on
David?
Sports Centre this weekend.
What did Klose try and do?
Klose tried to... Klose is close to our age at this point, Rog.
He's 47.
He went into the front flip. You know, we do see some players do the back flip. He went into the front flip, and he completely missed the landing.
Mitch Gaylord was looking and being like, this game's never going to catch on football. They can't stick their landings.
They can't stick their landings. You don't want to, miss the landing. It was just like when Van Persie scored that amazing goal in the opening match, and he did an amazing landing, and then he went for the high five with his coach, Louis van Gaal, and missed the high five. It almost ruins it.
It was a Euro landing at the Justice for at Men in Blazers. That was the perfect kind of goal for Klose to tie Ronaldo. It was already going in. The man
it did
is
look
the
like
ultimate
it was already.
poser.
I know you don't think it was.
I love the Ghanaian's response. Cut to Michael Essien on the bench and picking his nose. My wife emailed me and said, Essien is nose picking in close proximity to a German fan in a Chelsea shirt. What does that mean in Michael's bizarre world of rationale?
That's so Mrs. B, but I love you, Mrs. B.
We won't get into what it meant. Unbelievable. You've read the England stat out. 17 goals since Klose has scored 15. The big deal about this, Davo, is Spain and Italy have lost.
Yeah.
Holland, Argentina, as we'll talk about. Germany a bit wobbly.
Yeah.
I mean, Brazil 0-0 with Mexico is starting to look a little bit better. But this is...
Only Costa Rica want to win this World Cup, and America.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Costa Rica. We were talking about this yesterday. The 1950 stat that no European team has won the World Cup on South American soil. We poo-pooed that. We said, well, there's only been 1950 and 1978. What a ridiculous stat.
Yeah.
But it does seem to be.
You're on 1930.
Holding course, Davey.
Yeah.
It does seem to be holding course.
Yeah,
the Europeans are struggling in this heat, on this soil, in this World Cup of CONCACAF, in this bald man's World Cup.
When they play each other,
Euro
violence. Euro on Euro violence, a European team beats another European team.
Yeah.
So, Rog, great game of football. Where does that leave us? Let me go.
You tell me, David. You tell me.
Let me go to my.
If you're an American fan,
my group. Right now, Germany on top. They've got 4 points from 2 games. The USA have played 1 less game. They have 3 points. Ghana have 1 point. Portugal have 0. If the USA, Rog, beat...
When the
USA beat Portugal in the jungle, in the Amazonian jungle...
It is known.
That means that they go through. So they are in it's not an elimination game. They don't go out, but it's the opposite of elimination. If they win it, they advance.
It would be a gigantuan, ginormous, unbelievable
It will
feat.
be ginormous.
It will be an unbelievable feat.
Yeah.
An unbelievable feat. And I will feel a little bit like Joseph, the dream interpreter, David. It will be an insane, unbelievable feat.
I'm not going to suggest for a second that they might draw against Portugal. All I'm saying is, this is all I'm going to say. Just looking at the goal difference, the goal difference is the first decider if teams are tied on points. The second decider is goals scored.
Yeah.
And the third decider, FIFA will make up as they go along.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, they'll probably use that one first.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is the USA would be great if they scored another goal in the first 20 minutes.
A lot of pressure on Jurgen tomorrow. Doesn't like to talk to the team too much. Often doesn't say anything in the locker room before kickoff.
Yeah.
Step up, say things tomorrow, Jurgen.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a country, an amazing country we live in, where there's always amazing quotes for everything.
What do you want Jurgen to say?
One small step for man, that's one of yours. There's Washington crossing the Delaware. There's Dolly Madison. You've got amazing myths. Amazing myths. Speak softly, carry a big stick.
That's a good one.
Old soldiers never die. They just fade away. MacArthur. I have a dream. Martin Luther King. God, I love you. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Yeah.
What would you say if you're Jurgen, David?
Well, I was just going to say, can we just add, there is one Englishman, Rog, who is, I think deserves, it's partly because he's half American, who deserves to be quoted also tomorrow. It's Winston Churchill, Rog, American mother. Never, never, never give up. Never, never, never give up. We know the Americans are going to go and do that. That's all Jurgen really, really has to say, Rog.
Can you imagine that in a German accent?
Never, never.
Niemand, niemand.
Niemand.
Niemand, niemand.
Aufgeben. Right?
Here's what I'd say if I were Jurgen.
Yeah.
Because I did at 6 o'clock when I couldn't sleep. I wrote my speech and I'm going to email it to him later.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do his accent.
Okay.
Not good at accents. Do you want this to be known as the World Cup of Nipples?
No.
Bradley, you, listen. Do you want this to be known as the World Cup of side netting Beckerman?
No.
Of bald men? Bradley, you again? Of Costa Rico? Or do you want this to be known as one where American men put on the saddest, most puerile jerseys in the history of football and go into the jungle and overcome the shame and heat and the Portuguese and come out with a point?
Oh. So you just want a point?
Pretty much.
You just a point.
I think shout Bradley a lot.
I think point is good enough if they score a goal.
A
point is good enough if they score a goal.
I'd love a point. I'm worried about the gap between emotional and rational. We're very emotional about this US team. For being rational, it's a little more challenging tomorrow. I would eat a point like it was the best pizza from the Bay of Naples tomorrow, David. I would love that very, very much. We've got to go to Tehran. We promised you in Iran. I know a lot of you are watching this in basements, risking your lives to watch this show.
What a performance.
Iran.
What an amazing run.
Amazing. Football makes you do the wildest things. It isn't amazing. This is, to me, the beauty of the World Cup, that you can watch for 90 minutes a country, Iran, a complex country, too complex for someone as simple as me to talk about in Bob Lee's panic room. But you cheer, you see something in those 11 men on that field that makes you cheer their valour.
Football is amazing.
It is amazing. Football's better than...
Football is amazing.
We love football because it makes us feel feelings that you're meant to feel in real life, but we don't feel. We're numb to real life. So we watch football, but football also makes you see the best of...
We kiss football. It makes you love nations who you might not be predisposed to love.
Yeah, we tweeted out today that it was the best I ran since a flock of seagulls.
Yeah.
Which is probably the best way of summating it. Those players toiled. They toiled. There were 30,000 Argentinian fans today in Belo Horizonte. Amazing. New formation. They went with their 4-3-3, the one that got them through qualifying. They ditched that 5 at the back stuff. There was almost too much forward power. They always had too much forward power. You had all of these talented Argentinian forwards packing into a tiny amount of space and they could not find room to breathe. First half, Argentina completed 267 passes. Iran, 53. Very, very Champions League Chelsea, Dave. It was the fewest in a World Cup in the first half in 50 years. But they absolutely smothered Argentina. Higuain self-harmed the Argentinians when they had a chance otherwise. And it started to get very worrying. They kept cutting to Maradona, who looked like a mix between Keith Richards and Gene Simmons. It's like Gene Simmons is his mum.
He looked less realistic. Yeah. Looked less realistic. I mean, the Jagger, Rog, that was, to me, very unfortunate not to get a penalty from the reverse angle, particularly when you looked at that.
Should have had a penalty. I mean, he didn't get a penalty for two reasons. Number one, in these tournaments, little teams against big teams, you don't get the calls.
Yeah, it's like
Number two, this is a World Cup of bald men. The Jagger, you are a bald man.
But you're combing it over. He's doing the double comb over. Who's he tackled by? Zabaleta. Zabaleta openly losing his hair, wearing his bald spot with pride.
Talking about bald spots, can we hear it for Palacio?
Oh, Palacio. I mean, here's the thing.
Amazing.
Bald spot plus
rat tail. The rarely accomplished bald spot and rat tail, which
we don't see the combo enough.
If the US get out of this group, we will both grow a bald spot and rat tail. I thought it looked very good on him.
Bald spot.
But then you watch Messi. By the way, Messi watched by Maradona. Messi watched by Maradona. Maradona, if you didn't watch the 1986 World Cup, it's a very average team around Maradona. Maradona lifted his team on his shoulders and propelled them to victory single-handedly. Even in the final, when Germany tried to mark him off the field, he knew that if he kept running into space, the Germans would mark him and other players could score. Unbelievable. A team leader. Unbelievable. You watch Messi. The worse it goes, the more he seems to shrink into himself, Davey. He's not talking to the others. He kind of absolutely withdraws. It's a very odd form of leadership. And just when the world was starting to write him off, burnishes his own legend in this World Cup with a strike which led my partner in pod and blog and whatever this is to just tweet out the one word.
One word. I've never sent a one-word tweet before.
It's perfect.
Small. Our friend Ray Hudson, Rog, the great commentator on beIN Sport.
Small.
That's another small.
Small.
He always calls him magisterial. That's such a great word for Messi. Magisterial. He is so magisterial. That was an amazing.
And at the same time, shattering for Argentina, for Iran. At Mitch Mursky says they could show Ahmadinejad cheering for Iran night night, and I'd still be rooting for them.
But there is this thing in the World Cup, is that this does tend to happen, Rog, is that these World Cup games, as we've already seen, are so tight.
They're not, David. They're tight.
They're tighter than tight. They're so tight.
They're tighter than the shirts of the Uruguayan team.
It's the exceptional players, it's stars who make the difference. And it tends to be in World Cups that stars, Beckerman, stars like Beckerman and Chancellor Angela Merkel are the people who turn up in World Cup games and make an enormous amount of difference.
So to pack it, I'd say Argentina, huge tactical tweaking that is going to have to go on. There's going to be some recalibrating because that was not what is needed to go deep. Germany, the same. But can we not talk about other teams? Because for the next 24 hours, these and this and this.
Yeah.
And some of this.
And a little bit under the arms too, Rog.
A lot under the arms, Dave.
Going to be tingling.
Not a lot of this, Dave, for you and me. No sleep till Manaus.
Yeah, or just a little more than 24 hours till Manaus, Rog. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We can't wait for this game of football.
It is possibly the greatest day in American World Cup history since
1930, the third place finish that we don't talk enough about. I would say.
It's 1930 all over again.
But, Rog, so we're going to be here tomorrow. We thought about going up for the game.
We were going to go to Recife. We were going to go to Recife.
And then
we wanted to be with you.
Wanted to be with you.
Why would we leave this?
We want to watch the same commentary that you're watching. We want to come live right after in the boot room. We want to go on World Cup tonight.
An Englishman's home is his castle.
We want to
be with you. We don't have a castle. We have a panic room.
We want to be. Yeah, we do have a panic room. So that's it from us, Rog. At Embassy Davies, at Rog Bennett, at Men in Blazers. Our Instagram is Men in Blazers. Courage. MENINBLAZERS.com.
Dominate.
ESPNFC.com, Rog. There's amazing content all over that site. We'll be back with you. We'll be on World Cup tonight. We're going to be talking about a lot of things with both games today. And we'll be back tomorrow to talk to you right after the
Do not fear Manaus, America.
It's just a jungle.
Dominate.